I don't know exactly what to say about our next singer. He's a fantastic guitar player and singer. For decades, he's been on the forefront of not only entertainment, but education and programs about the civil rights struggle. He's received many honors and awards and fellowships. But what I like to say about this gentleman is that he's got such a great positivity that wherever he is, whatever he's doing, he makes things better. Please welcome Reggie Harris.
Yeah. Thank you. What a day. We got here early and we've just been sitting around talking to each other about this great privilege of being here, anticipating all of you. And here you are. Here you are at a time in our nation when there are so many reasons why you could be elsewhere. So that says something about you. And it says something about all of us that we are taking the time to commemorate and to remember an event and people who stood up in our nation for what we know is right. And a man who, impressive in every possible way, that I've been having the pleasure of talking about for the last 40 years in schools all over the country, because he's not a household name, not now. But he is a man who, as so many of our heroes and sheroes, typified and made real the words of our founding fathers and our founding mothers, who said, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men and women are created equal. turning back now. Standing on the banks of Jordan, we are wise and strong, and now we're walking down the freedom road, moving, chasing that dream. We're walking down the freedom road, one step closer to the promised land. Some say we're wasting our time. We're moving, chasing that dream. Not gonna pay them no mind. One step closer to the promise, closer to the promise, closer to the promised land. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow. With billowing sail, the tall ships came, bringing men and dreams and women and dreams. Heart to heart, hand to hand, together we began to build this land. Some were free hands, seeking a greater freedom. Some were indentured hands, hoping to find their freedom. Some were slave hands, holding in their hearts a seed of freedom. But one word was there always: freedom. Paul Robeson was very proud of the fact that his ancestors were slaves or enslaved people, because as we all say, the people who were in bondage were not slaves. They were people in slavery, because slavery can be a temporary situation. It should be a temporary situation, and that is the way that they began to measure their lives as they landed here in the Americas. And he would point out at any time that he was asked or challenged, and of course we all know he was challenged all the time, but it always seems to be that those who are oppressed are the ones who live close to the principles that the oppressor says are important. Can I get an amen? Amen. It's a remarkable thing that from the very beginning, those who came to this nation in a slave ship and those who came in the bottom of ships who were immigrants and poor, and of course, well, those who were already here. All of those people recognized each other in the early years. They recognized that they had something in common that those who were in power did not share. And it concerned those in power quite a bit. It's a lot of correspondence that went back from here to England and to other European capitals complaining about this coalition of the poor and the black and the native. And so it was that they stepped out and they decided that they would handle this, and we can see the fruits of what they did. But that word freedom is kind of tricky. Because when you start talking about freedom and you use that as the motive for shaping your nation, that slavery thing keeps getting in the way. And it's not just about slavery bondage, as in the physicality of it, but slavery from the financial, slavery from the emotional. Our nation has participated throughout its history in that exact way. And so, time and time again, we realize that that connection between all of us who are not people in power creates a fabric that if we can just remember, regardless of what we're told, that we are people of freedom. When Israel was in Egypt land, let my people go. Oppressed so hard they could not stand, let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh, thus spake the Lord, bold Moses said, let my people go. If not, I'll strike your firstborn dead. Let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh, let my people go. Those words from Langston Hughes about the beginning of our nation were echoed. They were echoed by Maya Angelou, who said, history, despite its wrenching pain, cannot be unlived, yet if faced with courage, need not be lived again. But the question is, do we have the courage to name what it is we face and to change it? No more in bondage shall they be. Let my people go, and soon shall all humankind be free. Let my people go. Oh, go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh, through my singing and acting and through my speaking, I want to make freedom ring. Maybe I can touch people's hearts better than I can their minds, with the common struggle of the common man. Paul Robeson went on to say that artists are the gatekeepers of truth. We are civilization's radical voice. As a singer and performer, he, among others, was a champion of the spiritual. All of the languages that he sang in and all of the songs from all of the possible genres were all leading back to the spirituals, which, of course, as Frederick Douglass said, were the songs of the slave. And we know that Paul, well, he valued those spirituals so much that he took them all around the world. As it then became a practice of all of the opera singers, all of the black opera singers, men and women, to include in their repertoire some spirituals. Those sorrow songs were also being thrown aside by even the African Americans who had come through slavery, because they were looking forward. I tell people all the time that in my house growing up, even though we certainly had a connection to slavery and would find out more about it later, we never talked about that in our house, because we or our parents were always looking forward. They were pushing us and trying to get us to a point where we were having a better experience in America than they had. But I do remember that in my childhood, my mother, Helen Harris, who I often say had an alternative drug problem, she drug us to church every chance she got. And every Sunday morning, Monday night, sometimes Wednesday night, and every now and then on Friday, she had my sister and I sitting in, as she said, in a midst of saints, the elders who we called the old folks. Because these old folks, they just sung these old songs that we didn't really know. And they sang them all the time, and they took all damn day doing it. We didn't know that they were doing it on purpose. They were settling those songs into our bodies and into our spirit and into our bones, because they knew that the world soon was going to get rough. And they didn't talk about the world getting rough, but they fortified us with songs that would serve us when the moment came. Of course, now as I travel around the country and the world, and I sing these spirituals and these old songs, I have to reevaluate how old those folks actually were. As I look in the mirror and I look just like them. But they knew that we were all going to be wading in the water. They also knew that we were not the only ones who were going to be wading in the water. A whole lot of folks right now are just beginning to experience the fact and acknowledge that they too are wading in the water. And the water is getting pretty deep. Didn't my Lord deliver Daniel? Didn't my Lord deliver Daniel? Didn't my Lord deliver Daniel? Didn't my Lord? Didn't my Lord deliver Daniel? He was in the lion's den, stood with those three boys in the fiery furnace till they could get cool again. Sat with the people by the edge of the sea. He was with Jonah in the belly of the whale. When my people heard those stories, they said, there ain't no way we're gonna fail if we just wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Say, wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. You know, well, who were those children all dressed in red? God's gonna trouble the water. They must be the ones that Moses led. God's gonna trouble the water. Well, who are those children all dressed in white? They must be the ones getting ready to fly. God's gonna trouble the, sing it like you mean it. Way in the water. Way in the water, children. Hey, hey. Way in the water now. God's gonna trouble the water, children. Say, way in the water. Way, oh, children now. Way in the water. I know. Hey, now, who are those children all are dressed in white? They must be the ones getting ready to fight. Well, who are those children all are dressed in black? never, 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 never no, 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 never, never, never no, never no, never no, never no. They're just not going back. Why would they? Yeah, they're walking the freedom. If you don't believe you can be set free, say, well, it's up to you and it's up to me. Well, if you don't think you can be redeemed, just follow me down to the Jordan Stream. God's gonna trouble the. Here we go now. Wade in the water. Hey, children, wade in the water now. God's gonna trouble the. Last time I'm gonna wade in the water. Wade, oh, children, now wade in the water. You know God's gonna trouble the water. Children say God's gonna trouble the. You sing it, say. Yeah, now gonna trouble the water. Children say God's gonna trouble the water. You know God's gonna trouble the Well, I tell you, we are wading in the water, but we have to remember that as those folks who used that song on the Underground Railroad, who used that song to get through the Civil War, who sang that song into the 1900s and through the time of Reconstruction, and then with the beginning of the Civil Rights Movement, we are not alone. The forces of power would love us to believe that what we believe, what we are doing, the work that we're doing is useless. They would like us to believe that they have all the answers and that they will eventually overwhelm us, but history is not on their side. And certainly Paul Robeson, Pete Seeger, Woody Guthrie, Fannie Lou Hamer, Rosa Parks, all of those folks who knew in their hearts, as they would say, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome. And folks can mock and make fun of that song. They can make fun. They made fun of Paul Robeson and all of those who stood their ground because they didn't understand how deep those roots go. And as those of us who spent so much time listening to and watching Pete Seeger, Pete and Toshi had an amazing message for all of us, and that message wasn't in the words that they always said. A lot of folks really didn't hear very much from Toshi. But I always say, without Toshi Seeger, there would have been no Pete. And so it is that we find ourselves in a time when, as I said to a friend of mine, when Pete and Toshi died and we watch many of our heroes and sheroes die off. A friend of mine called up and he said, what are we going to do now? And I said, I hope you've been taking notes, because we're up. People think that Paul Robeson was an aggressive and confrontational man, and he was not afraid of controversy. He was not afraid to face the hottest fires of oppression. But as he said himself, he was actually a man of peace. He said, "My weapons are peaceful." He said, "It's only by peace that peace can be attained. The song of freedom simply must prevail." Pete Seeger said that in a different way. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping all our shore, one earth so green and round, who could ask for more? And because I love you, I'll give it one more try to show my rainbow race. It's too soon to die. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping on our shore, one earth so green and round, who could ask for more? And because I love you, I'll give it one more try to show my rainbow race. It's too soon to die. Some folks wanna be like an ostrich, bury their heads down in the sand. Some folks hope that plastic dreams can unclench all those greedy hands. Some folks, they wanna take the easy way. Poisons and bombs, they think we need them. Don't you know you can't kill all the unbelievers? There's no shortcut to freedom. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping on our shore, one ocean lapping on our shore, one earth so green and round, one earth so green and round. Who could ask for more? Who could ask for more? And because I love you, and because I love you, I'll give it one more try. I'll give it one more try to show my rainbow race, to show my rainbow race. It's too soon to die. It's too soon to die. Go tell all the little children, tell mothers and fathers too. Now's our last chance to learn and share what's been given to me and you. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping all our shore, one earth so green and round. Who could ask for more? Who could ask for more? And because I love you, and because I love you, I'll give it one more try to show my rainbow race. It's too soon to die. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping on our shore,